I'd like to request the permission to allow others to speak.
You have it.
Yes. Go ahead with it. Do your
I'm
thing.
gonna open up with one prayer. All who want to join in, stand up, face the east. On the left, to on the right. If you don't wish to join in, please stay seated. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe,
The Father of love.
Father of love,
Truth. Peace.
peace,
Freedom. And justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector,
My guide.
my guide,
And my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night.
By night
And by day.
and by day,
Through his holy prophet.
through his holy prophet,
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Ali.
Islam.
I mean,
We got to take class today, so we'll try to move through it. But before we do, I just want to let everybody who's here know, and let Canaan know, that today makes our 2-year anniversary at the York House.
Yeah.
I think it was November 17th, 13th. Thank you. Thank you. I think it was November 17th, 2013, when Taj did the first class here at the York House. But yeah, 2 years. So before we get into the class, I just want to get a couple things out the way. You see the fez sitting here and the candles lit. This is going on. The fez will be there when the fez is there, but the candle will always be lit while we do classes at the York House.
Yeah.
And that's J.W. Bey's fez. That's J.W. Bey's fez. And the candle will be lit because his light is going to always be with us. It's eternal. So, hey, you know we can hear y'all. No, you can take them off of mute. Take them off of mute. Omar, mute your side, and then when you're ready to speak, just unmute it. All right, cool. And like I said, that candle will be lit. When the fez is there, it will be there, and that's because his light will always shine in our hearts. So we'll keep that candle lit. So we are going to do the picture.
You'll have it next time.
Okay, all right, so we'll do the picture. We'll have the picture as well. So I'm going to just bow my head in a moment of silence for my man J.W. Bey, our ancestor warrior. So if y'all want to join me, y'all can join me. Islam.
Islam.
Also, what I want to do is I want to acknowledge a couple of people and show my gratitude and my appreciation because we have been here for 2 years, and since J.W. Bey is here, then we're going to, well, we would have honored you anyway, but we're going to honor you this first. So I have a plaque right here for you.
Yes.
So if you want to come up and grab it,
All right.
come up and grab it, I'll read it.
All right.
That's just my own time.
All right.
Phyllis Amita Morgan Hill, thanks for 2 years of dedication and love and support of the James Watson Bey Civic class. And it's from the family.
All right.
So, that's for you. You taking pictures?
Yeah.
Let's take pictures. Give me out the microphone. Slow.
Thank you all.
Can I get it?
Yeah, Taj can share the pictures. We standing up here taking pictures of it.
Because we love
Okay.
y'all, that's why.
I just want to thank everybody for this honor. And Jim is a big part of this.
Yes.
Part of this, and I'm going to continue to carry on his legacy.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we got another plaque, and this one is for Sabrina Bey.
Oh.
So what it says is, I want to say thank you. Without you, there is no me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. SetenRa Bey. So,
All right.
no, I didn't take it. More pictures.
Right here, teacher. That's a reward for always finding something to do.
They always find something. So, for uplifting fallen humanity, this award is presented to Delilah Lynn Pasiel in recognition of your dedication to uplifting fallen humanity and your undying love of Moorish science. On behalf of the James Watson Bey Civic class, we say thank you.
Thank you.
Islam.
Thank you.
As you all know, I have recorded every class that we've done at the York House. And without her, these classes don't get around. They don't get out.
All right.
As soon as we finish taking pictures.
There we go.
All right. All right. No.
We got one more for Sharif, but Sharif isn't here.
Todd,
So
good brother
Sharif
from
said the same
from
thing
the
that
job.
John said, so we'll get with Sharif when we get it. So, Islam, bro. Who just came in with some food? Yeah, we got a thing class today, so I'm gonna just, like I said, I'm gonna just go ahead and get at it and get moving. I'm sure everybody in here should know about Monsanto by now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So I saw something. We'll get into it a little later on in this one. Huh? Yeah, I seen something that was kind of. It didn't really disturb me, but it did because it won't affect me directly, but it affects me indirectly because it affects people that I know and people that I love. So I figured I don't really repeat classes. I've never done a class in Philly twice. And all the time I've been doing classes, but I did this one back in May of 2013.
Yeah.
So I just pulled some information from that class, and I put some new stuff together, and then we got this. So Monsanto Company Incorporated, that's what they call themselves now. They used to be called Monsanto Seed, but they didn't call themselves that no more. They changed the name to Monsanto Company Incorporated. It was founded in 1901 by a man named John Francis Queenie in St. Louis, Missouri. His wife was Olga Monsanto. And that's where the name Monsanto came from. He gave it after his wife's maiden name. It is recognized as a public business and is known on the New York Stock Exchange as just capital M-O-N. And the type of business it is agribusiness. When I saw agribusiness, I had never heard that word in all my life, agribusiness. So I went on and defined it. I think you skipped it. Did you? Oh, that's after that? Okay, go ahead then. We'll get to agribusiness after that. That's just a picture of John Francis Queenie. Look, I didn't put this on here. This just came up when I Googled him. So you see what order he was a part of. Knights of Malta, right? He's a hateful looking dude too. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just what I see. So agribusiness. Agribusiness is the business of agricultural production. It includes agrochemicals, breeding, crop production, farming, and contract farming. What's the difference in farming and contract farming?
Contract farming, you have to grow exactly what they tell you to grow.
When you do contract farming, you have to grow what they tell you to grow. Right? It's just like, it's basically brokering with them. Right? And you have to grow what they tell you to grow. Now, farming is just farming. That's just you going out back or going onto your land, tilling the land, and bringing forth whatever crops you can bring forth. When you do contract farming, that's why I put it in capital and put it in red. You have to do what they tell you to do. You have to plant what they tell you to plant. So you got breeding, crop production, farming, contract farming, distribution, farm machinery, processing, and seed supply, as well as marketing and retail sales. Now that's agribusiness. I had never heard of agribusiness in all my life. Probably because I'm not into agriculture. But you know, sometimes you hear stuff. You know, some stuff is just floating in the air, you hear it. But I had never heard of that. Can you get the next slide, please? So they got what they call agrochemicals and agrochemicals. I guess whichever one they feel like using that day. A contraction of agricultural chemical is a generic term for the various chemical products used in agriculture. In most cases, agrochemical refers to the broad range of pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, and nematicides. It may also include synthetic fertilizers, hormones, and other growth chemical agents, and concentrated stores of raw animal manure. That's a lot that they're producing. And they don't, and who knows what they're producing it with. If we had a list of, let's just pick the insecticides. Everybody's heard of insecticides. And we listed everything that was in that insecticide. I don't think none of us would probably know what any of it was.
Exactly.
But that's what they put on the stuff that we eat. We consume it. You know, you say, oh no, you know, I stopped eating meat. I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian. You got pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, and nematicides floating around in your body. And nobody knows what none of them sides are.
Yeah.
I ain't got a clue what none of those sides are related to.
Yeah, right. Something like suicides.
It's like suicide, homicide. It's more like homicide, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what they put together for you. Next slide. Monsanto Company Incorporated. The CEO is Hugh Grant. The headquarters, Creve Coeur, Missouri. Revenue in 2014, $15.9 billion U.S. currency. 2013, $14.9 billion U.S. currency. 15 didn't come out yet because we didn't get through 15. But each year, it seems like they make $1 billion more. From when I'm sitting there looking at the stats, it looks like they're making $1 billion more dollars, right? Number of employees, over 21,900, most of them on American soil. They got over 10,000 employees right here. Right here. Now, the problem that I had is everybody's heard of Monsanto, so everybody knows what's going on. And people actually work there. Scientists, chemists, even the people that just do the packaging or whatever, you already know what's going on. But see, they help it thrive, right? It's the people. Whenever the people get tired of what's going on, it's just the people that's got to rise. The company ain't going to rise.
That's right.
Listen, forget about this guy. He's probably getting about 20 million in U.S. currency every year. He might be getting more than that as CEO. So forget about him. He ain't going to have a change of heart. Count him. John Francis Queenie is long gone. But he ain't going to have a change of heart, and nobody up there in that office is going to have a change of heart. They got over 400 facilities in 66 countries. Website. You can go on their website and read their whole rundown because they don't hide it. They don't put everything out there, obviously, but they got enough information right there for you to just sit there and be lost in a whole day's worth of research. www.monsanto.com is their website. Saccharin. How many of y'all heard of saccharin?
Yeah.
That's almost everybody. Good. That was Monsanto's first product. Saccharin, an adjective. And this is what's in the, this is what's online. Relating to or resembling that of sugar, yielding or containing sugar. That means it ain't sugar.
Right.
If it's resembling sugar, yielding or containing sugar, then you shouldn't be putting it in your drinks.
Right.
You shouldn't be putting it in anything. Saccharin was discovered by a chemist, Konstantin Fallberg, who worked with Ira Remsen at Johns Hopkins University. That's Remsen on the left, Fallberg on the left. I mean on the right. Well, he probably, This guy right here is the guy who came up with the compound, the chemical, whatever they call it, the chemical compound for saccharin, but he was working under Ira Remsen. So Remsen got the credit for saccharin, and he got the finance for saccharin. This guy didn't get any recognition except just being noted as working for him. It was that guy that got everything. Saccharin is an artificial sweetener with effectively no food energy, which is about 300 to 400 times as sweet as sucrose or table sugar, but has a bitter or metallic aftertaste, especially at high concentrations. It is used to sweeten products such as drinks, candies, cookies, medicines, and toothpaste. These are their words. I didn't write none of this. I just simply retyped it. They said it was an artificial sweetener with effectively no food energy. None. We find out how much we consume. Candies, cookies, medicines, toothpaste, and drinks. So what we got up here, Mountain Dew, something called Wet and Wild, Diet Sprite, Sliced, A&W Root Beer, Welch's Grape, Brisk Iced Tea, Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, Sunkist Orange, Tad, and whatever else. Sprite, 7-Up, some kind of juice. All the sodas that people have been drinking for all these years. Now, the saccharin's been out since 1906. They didn't just start putting it in your drinks. You've been drinking since when we was that big. We was running around and we went to 25 cents and went and got a little hug and drank it. We was drinking saccharin. R.B.W. Wiley, M.D. Y'all can write his name down. Y'all can check him out. I got a book of his right here. I'll show y'all in a second. Dr. Wiley, in 1883, was appointed to the position of Chief of the Bureau of Chemistry. In 1906, he got Congress to pass what was called then the Food Law, after 26 years of trying to push it through Congress. It took 26 years for him to finally get them to say, okay. Dr. Wiley thought he had the full support of the government. You see, I put government in quotes. He was deemed an idiot by President Roosevelt. Why? So we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Wiley. Dr. Wiley was one of them brainiac guys, one of those chemists who could break down every nano-organism that was in a food and a drink or anything that was getting put in it. And his work was tested and it was tried and it was true. He was the foremost, back then, 1883, he was the foremost scholar on anything having to do with food and any toxic thing that went in the food. 1906, he got them to pass the Food Law. What was the Food Law? The Food Law was saying when his Bureau of Chemistry, between Dr. Wiley or somebody else, stated that Sabrina wants to put this in the food, but we've tested it, and what it's going to do is it's going to cause hair to grow in your kidney. We told the government, and the government said, all right, cool. That's what the Food Law was. That's what that law was put in place for. So when they got something toxic, when they got something poisonous, and they want to put it into the food system, the Bureau of Chemistry was like, nah. And because Dr. Wiley said no, that's what they went with. Now, let's look at some dates. Pay attention. Anybody remember what year I said Monsanto got started?
1901.
1901. So you see what year this is. 1906. Right, so that's 5 years after Monsanto. 5 years. He thought he had the full support of the government. The same thing that goes on now went on then. They call them lobbyists now. So you get ties to come over to me and say, listen, SetenRa, I know you need that ballpark over there for them children. I got the finance to get that ballpark built. So Taj gives me the finance. I get the ballpark built. Now the children can run around and play, but Taj needs me to put this little bill through for him so he can put poison in the water. Don't think it didn't happen. This ain't just started. Greed has been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And it ain't going nowhere. He thought he had the full support of the government. The reason he was deemed an idiot by President Roosevelt was this. They had this big old meeting, and during the meeting, they talked about all the stuff that was poisonous in the food. Dr. Wiley said, that's no good, that's no good, this is okay, that's okay. No, that ain't no good, get rid of that. In small doses, you can use that. And everybody got up and get ready to leave. So my man Ira Remsen said, wait, well, what about saccharin? Now, at the meeting, it was President Roosevelt. He said, hey, what about saccharin? He said, what about it? Dr. Wiley stands up before he was called on to speak and said, saccharin is flat out poison. He said, anybody takes saccharin, he said it'll kill you. He said in small doses, it'll just wear you away and wear you away and wear. So what happens? President Roosevelt stands up and says, are you telling me that saccharin is poison? Well, yeah, that's what I just said. He said, well, anybody who thinks that saccharin is poison is a damn idiot. He said, my doctor's been giving me saccharin a couple tablets a day, every day for the past couple weeks. When the president named Dr. Wiley an idiot, that was it. He was done. He was finished because, you know, it's on the wire just like that. Dr. Wiley wrote a book. Try to look at that. That's a small picture of it. It's called A History of a Crime. How could it happen? This book is extremely hard to find. When I first looked it up, the first one I seen was 700 and some change. My father-in-law found this one for 35. I don't know how he wouldn't tell me, but, you know, but I got it. And if it disappeared, before we leave here, we'll see somebody. What? Somebody came in there? That's it right there, History of a Crime. You got it. Now, let me tell you all about that book. I haven't read it yet, I just got it a little while ago. But he's talking about all of the stuff that we're talking about now, all of the stuff they put in the food. You gotta remember, this is way back in, this book was back in 1910. It's 215, you're talking about 100 and some change, right? I forget his name. Dr. Harvey W. Wiley. I got my eyes on y'all too, so if that book disappeared. Anybody walk out that door, it's a problem.
We love books.
My eye on everybody. Anyway, what happened is this: Dr. Wiley, when he when he finished the book, he took it to the publisher, right? The book disappeared. The whole book disappeared. It took Dr. Wiley another 10 years to put that book back together. When he finally put it back together, he didn't sell it. It wasn't a widespread thing. He didn't sell it all over the place. What he did was he got it published. He put some in libraries. He gave a couple to people he knew. He didn't really sell it. I guess he didn't need finance. He gave the book away. So wherever you find them, you find them. And like I said, when I first looked that book up, that book was 700 and some change. So, you know, if you decide to look it up, you can look it up. But it's 215 now. And we fight, you can go to the next slide. We fighting Monsanto and we fighting all these other giants right now. Excuse me, Mollis. I'm gonna need y'all to stop talking because that camera's gonna pick up your voices. But if anybody needs to talk, man, I can actually go to the back so it's not picked up on the camera. It's not, thank you. That's a picture of Harvey D. Wiley. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was tripping. Maybe when I was looking at him, he just looked like he got something in him. Maybe I was tripping. Next slide. Do some research on saccharin and aspartame as soon as possible. Y'all know what aspartame is? Yeah, no? Hey?
It's another substitute. Yeah.
Same thing. It's another sugar substitute. So where you find it? Splenda, all them little packet sugars that they give you when you go to get coffee and tea, when you go to the store, is loaded with aspartame. Y'all know what they put aspartame in? Decon. That's rat poison. That's rat poison. Back to Monsanto. Monsanto has genetically engineered what I call single-serve seeds. These seeds they produce deplete whatever soil it touches of whatever nutrients/minerals were in the soil. They can only be used once. And each year, farmers are forced to buy by the de facto colonial occupational foreign U.S. government to purchase seeds from Monsanto. Now, the reason I call them single-serve seeds is obviously because they can only be used once. You know, some crops, you ain't even gotta do nothing but just let it be. Them plants will come back. Them crops will come back. Those seeds, once you put them in the soil, it's a wrap. The soil is done. No nutrients, no minerals, no nothing. Now, what, a month ago, maybe a month and a half, we had the family from Forgotten Foods here. And her whole thing was, if the nutrients aren't in the soil, then the nutrients can't be in the food. So if we just eating Franken seeds and Franken food, then we can't be getting any nutrition. Even though we say, oh yeah, I'm not going to eat meat, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat that. I'm starting to think like we might be better off just going to an organic butcher and just eating it up, as opposed to buying this crap, because we don't even know if the lettuce we get. Go to YouTube and type in how to make lettuce. Right? They making lettuce, y'all. So when you go to Chick-fil-A, when you go to McDonald's and all these, and you get a sandwich, that ain't lettuce. They making it. Go to YouTube and type in how to make lettuce and see what kind of game they play. So, I mean, I'm really serious. I'm starting to think, all right, we just gonna go out to the butcher, an organic butcher out in the middle of the country somewhere. Like, man, cut me up a cow.
Start chopping. Yeah. Safer.
I'll tell you what. Two of my great grandparents, one of them was 98, the other one was 100. They ate more meat than a little bit. You caught that?
Meat that they grew on.
Each year, farmers are forced by the de facto colonial occupation of foreign U.S. government to purchase seeds from Monsanto. Y'all know why I wrote that way? Because you know it didn't say that in the book.
Right.
Why I write it that way? Why did I put the de facto colonial occupational foreign U.S. government? Because that's what it is, but why
Because
else?
that's what it is.
Why else?
But
Oh yeah, I hear you back there whispering.
We trying to look up the word de facto.
Trying to look, which
De
word?
facto?
Facto? Okay. Anybody want to tell me why I wrote it that way? Outside of because that's what they are? Who are we? Moors. What is John Francis Queen and Hugh Grant, his CEO?
Roman.
The Europeans, right? Where's Europe? That way. A little bit north, over to the east. We talking international violation, right? Because anytime we got any dealings with them, we talking international matters.
that's right.
We ain't talking just black and white, because black and white don't exist. I mean, this book is in black and white, right? That's black and white, so I guess in a sense, black and white does exist, on paper, right? Just like when you say I'm black, you say they're white, it only exists on paper, right? I'll put that because when you put stuff like that in your documentation, you invoke international law.
That's right.
De facto, false, fraudulent, colonial, occupational, foreign. I just invoked international law. It's an international matter.
All right.
So you keep that in mind when it's time for you to write.
All
When it's
right.
time for you to address something, you keep that in mind. Artists coming in late. What's up, bro? Let's take a look at one of their experiments. What is that?
A picture of a tomato.
Is it?
That's a
A
tomato.
picture.
It's supposed to be, right?
That looks like.
Is it? Right. Next slide. What is that?
Fish.
It's a tomato.
Got tomato jeans.
Am I tripping or is that a tomato? Yes, no, I mean, come on, don't be bashful. You know, y'all know I get crazy sometimes, right? Is it a tomato?
Halloween.
I have to taste it, Big.
Wait. Y'all gonna really sit here and look at me like I'm crazy?
I would have to taste it.
All right, I'm seriously asking. Is it a tomato?
That's a fish.
No.
Fish.
That is an Arctic flounder. DNA of the tomato fused with the DNA of the Arctic flounder. So what's missing is food. Huh? Oh, you can't see it? Oh, that's right, because I did it in yellow. Right, in Swedish yellow. So it says monster food. Monster Mato? That's it. Monster Mato. They took the DNA of the tomato and fused it with the DNA of the Arctic flounder. Why? Because when people in New Jersey, who supposedly had a best reputation for growing tomatoes, when it gets cold, sometimes you might get that frost in October, or whenever, in the spring, whenever they grow tomatoes, right? They lose their whole crop. all them tomatoes are done. The first frost, them tomatoes are done. They ain't gonna grow no more. Some of them start to wrinkle up and look all crazy and nasty, right? So, Monsanto, hey, whoa, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to take the DNA from this fish that swims in the Arctic, where it's like no degrees. Right. Fuse the DNA of this with the DNA of that. You can grow your tomatoes all year long. Now, what we don't think about is this. When the seasons change, the food changes. Because everything doesn't grow all year long. We don't think about that. We just eat what we like to eat. We eat what we want to eat. We don't ever take the time and say, wait, mangoes, they say they was out of season, right? Why that mango so sweet then? You never think about that. You just eat it because it's good. You ain't never think that they might have fused it with a monkey butt or something like that. And now it's sweet. You know, you never know. See what I'm saying? You never know. But just so you know, for those of you who do like tomatoes, you might be getting a combination. What are the results of consuming genetically modified organisms? That's what GMO stands for. Sometimes you see GE, and that's what genetically engineered. You eat it or drink it. Once you eat it or drink it, then you get digestion. Once it digests, it gets into your bloodstream. Once it goes into your bloodstream, it latches onto your cells. And once it gets into your cells, now your organs are affected. And then you got problems. Then you wonder how you got a malignancy. You wonder how you got a tumor. You wonder how you got this cancer. And you wonder how you got all of this stuff. Because they decided to mess with the tomato and the fish and marry them. Those two don't go together. That fish is way under that water, way up north. Tomatoes don't grow up there. And them fish can't survive down there because their climate is up there in that cold. They experiment. And we the guinea pigs. Those rats were on a GMO/GE diet. They don't even look like rats. Those are malignancies and tumors that grow over the course of time from them eating that feed that they get. Probably corn or something like that, but that's what they look like after a while. Then you wonder why you putting on some extra pounds, why you got this knot in my back. It ain't no knot, it's that malignancy. It's from that corn. It's from all that other crap that we being forced to eat. We ain't gonna end up looking like a rat. Like that. It's gonna take a period of time before you get something that big hanging out of your body. Because you can best believe them rats can't walk, they can't do nothing. They probably just sit there and eat. And that's it. Agriculturalists say that the way we eat has changed more in the past 50 to 100 years than it did in the past 10,000. I said, I can guess why. Can any of y'all guess why? Come on, man, y'all some intelligent folks. Y'all gonna start talking to me today.
Money.
Who?
Greed.
Yeah. That's a big reason why.
We have supermarkets.
Supermarkets? That was before supermarkets. That was before supermarkets. Anybody else? How long our ancestors been in this land? Thousands of years, right? Mm-hmm. We fused flounder and tomatoes? No, we just ate. We grew crops and we ate and we lived. We didn't have to do all of that nonsense. You know why? We bartered with each other. We had our land. We did what we did. So there was no need to do all that type of stuff. We didn't have corporate greed so many hundreds of thousands of years ago. Right? That's right. My man came over here from across the pond, brought all his bad culture, customs, and everything with him. Now, did we fight each other? Yeah, we fought. Did we have spats? Yeah, we had spats. We ain't want no angels on this planet. Right? No angels on this planet. So I ain't gonna sit here and paint a picture like Moors are just the perfect people, because that's not the case. We got faults just like everybody else. But that our beyond got faults that's like unimaginable. Who would ever think to do stuff like that and then feed it to people for this, right? You see they made 14.9 billion and 13. 15.9 billion in 14, right? Now let's just say this year they made 16.9 billion. That's over 50 billion in 3 years. How much damn finance you need? Is it that serious that you gotta kill off babies? That you gotta kill off people with food just for some finance? That's crazy. They say that the foods that we ate at the turn of the century are now extinct. I should say how that happened. If we got all the stuff that we eat now, all of these fruits, vegetables, the couple of animals that's walking around that people eat, then it makes me just wonder, like, if most of what we ate at the turn of the century is extinct, then what the hell? What was we eating? And why was it that important to get rid of it? See, they didn't care about your health way back then. 1906, 1910, 1920. Just worry about that paper. Monsanto Company, in 1945, they introduced their first agricultural chemicals, that pesticide. 1960, they introduced their agricultural division. 1982, the first genetically modified plant was introduced. Also in 1982, Monsanto acquired the Jacob Hertz Seed Company and soy became their #1 product. All these years, all we heard about was corn.
Yep.
Right. Monsanto got a lock on corn. They got a lock on corn. I didn't know about this until I researched it a couple years back. I didn't know that they had a lock on soybeans. Right? Y'all remember a couple years ago, soy was the best thing in the world. They had soy milk, soy cheese, soy water, soy biscuits. It was soy everything. Right? Well, now you know what?
Cheap crop.
Who? Who?
No, since soy is a cheap crop, so.
They got all this stuff up there. Should you consume soy products? 10 reasons why soy is not a health food. Soy, the unhealthy food. And then you got all these products down here that's made with soy. You got tofu, soy something, tofurkey. Tofurkey. I don't think I would eat tofurkey. Silk milk, so nice milk. And they got pudding, they got bulk or something. They got all of these products right here that's made with soy. Now, the problem is this. We don't know where that stuff comes from. If that's Monsanto's #1 crop, then we already know. It was made with some seeds that they put together in the laboratory.
Yeah.
And now this is what we consume. Now the question arises, should we eat the soybean? Does the soybean deplete the male reproductive system? Minister Sekou Il argues that our sisters and brothers in Asia Major have eaten soy for thousands of years and it hadn't affected them. They ain't growing tumors and they ain't growing malignancies and all of that type of stuff. Now I put this here. All this is from a conversation from the other night. Right? Does the soybean deplete the male reproductive system? Is that what you said? So what exactly happens again?
The soybean, for males, they digest or they're putting estrogen from the soybean.
Imagine that.
So the estrogen level is.
Imagine that. So from males eating the soy products, we consuming levels of estrogen that we probably don't need. So then you got them boys walking around like that. Forgive me if I offended anybody, but that's what you ended up having. Islam.
If I may add,
We can't hear you. Can you come up to the mic, please? No, right here. Ain't nobody looking at you. Just talk. Ain't nobody looking at you.
And just
yes, if I may add, and this is a message that needs to get out to the young parents, young mothers.
Yep.
It's indeed true about the soybean
Yep.
and the estrogen. It used to be good until Monsanto got to it. And back in the day before then, it was popular for us to give our baby soy milk instead of cow's milk, but not now. So also when you mix the soy milk with the plastic baby bottles, with the,
Combo.
what is it, BPA?
Yeah.
BPA, yeah. All of that contributes to, you know, the estrogen and that whole female
And the
thing.
cancers, yeah.
So we need to get this message out to these young mothers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Minister Sekou Hill, some of y'all know Sekou. I'm sorry.
Islam.
Islam.
I wanted to add that the soybean, it harms the, oh my goodness, it harms the, I'm trying to say,
Is it the hormone?
hormones.
Yeah.
It causes little boys to lose their penis, and it causes little girls to grow penises. So that is really the danger in the soy product that that we're eating, and the parents really need to know about this.
Yes, we do.
These products, it's not only in the soy, but it's in the toothpaste, our drinks, a lot of things that we eat. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Islam.
Minister Sekou Hill argues that our sisters and brothers in Asia Major have eaten soy for thousands of years. And that's the case, right? They ain't had Monsanto. Right. There's some. They didn't have Monsanto. We do. Now, everybody doesn't have Monsanto. But we do. Monsanto company, all this time you thought that this, being that corn, was Monsanto's #1 product. Although corn is the top Monsanto's list, it is not the only crop that they have manipulated. The consumption of corn has become like playing Russian roulette. You have no clue what you're eating. Think of the various products that have corn in them. How many of y'all still eat corn?
I do eat corn sometimes. Yeah.
What's the corn say when you buy it? Can you talk to the microphone? Good. Tell me when you buy corn.
Oh, you mean the brand I buy?
Tell them.
Oh, well, first I had to do some research because all corn is pretty much modified. So I did research to find the non-GMO corn, which you can get from Whole Foods and some supermarkets carry it. I want to say the brands are Elixia and Whole Foods 365. I looked for the actual logo that says non-GMO on the bag, on the label. So that's the only corn I buy.
Yo, she came in the house doing backflips. Because she hadn't had corn for about 3 or 4 years. When she found that corn, she acted like it was Christmas morning and she was eating. She found some corn she could eat. But the problem is, like I said, it's like playing Russian roulette. You talking popcorn, you talking all types of stuff. You don't know what you get, right? So now you got to just get away from everything that you like, that you enjoy to eat, because they tamper with it. Frito-Lay, in 2013, Frito-Lay was under a class action lawsuit because it was found that they used genetically modified organisms in their products. The reason for the lawsuit was simple. They lied on the products and said that they were all natural. So here's a list of products found to have genetically modified organisms. Tostitos, restaurant-style chips, bite-sized rounds, brand tortilla chips, all Mason Sun chips. You know they got that brand called Sun Chips, and they got this flavor, that flavor. Cool. Doritos, etc. These chips are made in corn oil, and if Monsanto has allowed more corn across the world, and their seeds are forced down the throats of every farmer on the planet, where do you think Frito-Lay got their corn from?
Yep.
You think Frito-Lay growing their own corn? They lost the suit. Because on the bag it says all natural.
Yeah, they throw that natural word around.
I wish I would have saw it and said, you know what? And said, listen, y'all, but yeah, they lost the suit to the tune of millions. Any of you? Huh?
Frito-Lay makes potato chips too. Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, Lay's potato chips and.
It doesn't say potato chips on the bag, it says Lay's chips.
Oh yeah?
It doesn't say potato. You assume that it's a potato because
She
it has
said-
a picture.
She said it doesn't say Lay's potato chips. It says Lay's chips.
Y'all just been chipped.
Them can be dog chips. Them can be dog. Man. What happened to Prop 37? Y'all know about Prop 37? Y'all remember that from a couple years ago?
No, no.
What is it? A proposition put on the ballot back in 2013 in Queen Khalifa. And I was being smart. Sorry, I meant California. Right? So you know I did that just to make you think, like, who's Queen Khalifa? It was put on the ballot to force the labeling of genetically modified organisms. That was back in 12 and 13, when it was time for elections, when it was time for votes. What happened to it? Anybody know? It went under? How?
Monsanto.
I forget what it was.
Monsanto?
Oh, was that the labeling rule?
Yes.
Ah.
If Prop 37 had been passed, then Monsanto and everybody else, because it ain't just Monsanto, they're just the biggest biotechnical fool out there. They bought it so it wouldn't pass. And who bought it? Pepsi, cocaine, cola, Silk, Kraft, and Whole Foods, just to name a few of the companies that bought Prop 37 so it wouldn't pass. Right? Now, all of these companies contributed millions to these punk politicians, and it never got passed. The same thing that we talked about with Dr. White. Now, you're talking back in 1910 with 1960 with Dr. White, and here you are talking about two years ago in 2013, when Prop 37. If I'm not mistaken, Whole Foods spent about $14 million to keep Prop 37 from getting passed. Coke was right up there with them, with the double-digit millions. We cannot allow this to get passed, because if it gets passed, then that means they got to stop selling their stuff. Now, I'm 39, so I just found out a couple years ago, there's some elders in here, I just found out a couple years ago that it was actually cocaine in Coca-Cola. In the soda. Until a few years back, when they said, all right, you know what? Now what happened is this. What happened is this. They are the only corporation, the only entity that is allowed to import cocaine into what's called the United States.
That's why it's called Coke.
CIA, FBI, DEA. But Coca-Cola is the only company, right? And they used it to make soda. Coca-Cola. And all of those different Coke products, right? They said every year there was about 33,000 tons of cocaine left over after the production of the soda. And they destroyed it. They say they destroyed it. Right around the corner. They destroyed it. They didn't say what it was. They destroyed it. What was it? My childhood. Her childhood. His childhood. His mother. Her father. They destroyed it, right? 33,000 tons a year. That's a lot. That's a lot. These are the companies that forced to get that from getting passed. So now you see a few other companies who you should look at before you buy this stuff. What?
Okay, just want to put a disclaimer out because I know I said you could get the corn from Whole Foods. Trust me, I did my research because Whole Foods was under the microscope because they were mislabeling, or not mislabeling, they were saying everything was non-GMO, but did not have labels on their products. So that's why I said, make sure you have that label, that you see the non-GMO label. Because I showed you what to look for when we went food shopping one time. Make sure you see that label, because not all the products say non-GMO. One, I think the colors is blue and yellow, and there's one that's just black and white. But, because they're going to try to trick you with the type of label, because it's two different types, or designs, I should say. But just make sure it says non-GMO on it. So.
Yes.
And, sister, did you see? Y'all might have the slide already, but also with the code, with the numbers, one little sticker.
Yeah.
The number's on a little sticker. If it's 4, that's traditional farming with pesticides that you would have to wash off supposedly. And 9 is organic. If the numbers start out as 4 or 5 numbers, 4, 6, 7, 3, 4 is traditional, 9 is organic, and 8 is GMO. So I remember 8 hate, so that's the bad one.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all can, what you can do with your greens and your vegetables and your fruit and things like that. When you take it home, you know, don't run it under the water and just rinse it off. You can do that, that just gets your fingerprints off. Right? Fill your sink up with some hot water. Huh? Not hot water? Cold water? With the root vegetables, she told me in the kitchen. But what you do is you get some peroxide. You can either get food grade peroxide, be careful, because food grade peroxide is extremely strong. Or you can get some peroxide that you get from the store. 3% peroxide, pour it in the water, throw your stuff in there, and just let it sit. When you go to get it, you might not want it when you see the filth that rises to the top of the water. Right? It ain't going to get it all out. Better to get some out than none. Now, if you eat meat, do the same thing. Take your meat, throw it in that water, and watch what comes up off of that meat. Let's switch gears for a second. The senators and representatives before mentioned, somebody's calling you, Todd. The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as qualification to any office or public, I should say of. Say or of. I think of, right? Of public trust under the United States. Y'all know where this comes from?
Constitution.
Yeah, that's an easy where.
Oh.
That's the easy part, the Constitution. It says this Constitution, you ain't slick. I said where it comes from. In the Constitution. Don't be trying to look it up that fast.
Article 6.
Article 6. That says that they are bound by oath to uphold the Constitution, right? So if I stand here and I take that oath, and I'm held by oath, and I'm bound by oath to uphold that Constitution, that means I'm supposed to uphold and protect your liberties and your rights, right? Now, if I idly stand by or accept a donation to allow some poison to go into some food that you're going to consume, did I break my oath?
Yes.
Yes, that's a breach.
So if you break your oath or you breach your oath, what happens?
You lose your authority.
You lose your authority?
Treason.
Crime.
It's called treason. It's a crime. Right? Now, treason is punishable by what?
Death.
Death
Life
or
in prison or death.
Death or in prison. Right? You know why they don't never die? Or they don't never go to jail? Because we don't never say nothing. We don't ever say nothing. Monsanto, so if they got 20,000 employees at Monsanto, it's more than 20,000 people from Broad area to Broad Valley. And from Ogansad to 5th Street, it's more than 20,000 people. It's easily 1,000 people probably in this building right now. In that building over there, it's probably another 1,000 over there. We ain't speaking up. They got a couple employees, they got some lawyers, we ain't speaking up. Now earlier I said, colonial, occupational, foreign, U.S. government. That's who's allowing all of this stuff to come in and out, right? So that they commit international crimes. So who should be speaking up about this international crime?
People of land.
Us.
Yep.
That's why this is important for us to know, right? Everybody come up with these class action lawsuits. There was a lady in the store, and she was shot. And there was a little boy running around. He was bad as hell, right? She trips over the little boy and breaks her ankle. She sues the department store because the little boy was running around acting crazy. The security guard couldn't control him, couldn't tell him what to do, and she fell and broke her leg. She won. You know what the twist of the plot is, the twist of the story is? Google it. It was her damn son.
Whoa.
It was her son. She sued the department store and won. Y'all remember the fool bought the cup of coffee from McDonald's and burned himself, and he said it was hot. What you thought? But the cup didn't say caution. Hot. He won. I'm just saying. Class action lawsuit, international war crimes. That's what that is.
Yep.
President Barack Obama, first black president.
No, he's not.
Hey, man.
And he ain't black.
I just want to see if anybody will say something. In 2013, President Barack Obama signed the Monsanto Protection Act. House Resolution HR 933. Google it. Gives Monsanto and smaller biotech companies, should have said, the complete autonomy to do whatever they want. They can plant, produce, and grow what they want without any recourse, even from the Supreme Court. Go look it up and let me know what happened. HR 933. He signed that, and it was widespread mayhem. People went off. People went crazy. They was having a fit. How could he allow something like this to get passed? Well, you know what happened? It was in between the pages. That was about 30 pages. It was in between the pages of about a 700-page agricultural plan. So, of course, he didn't read them 700 and some pages, and his aide didn't read 700 and something, and he signed it. He signed it. Gave them the permission to do whatever they want. So y'all know they was cloning pigs. That was a couple years ago when they started cloning pigs. Monsanto. Look at them babies, y'all. I'm gonna sit over here for a second. Look at them babies. Sitting there playing soccer. They sitting down on the bottom just laughing. Little cuties up top, they smiling. Now picture them with them malignancies and tumors that I showed y'all in the rats. Because they babies, they ain't got time to learn this stuff. They babies, they want to play. They ain't coming to listen to me. But you are here to listen to me, and you got babies, and your brothers got babies, and your sisters got babies, and your cousins got babies. Now imagine the malignancies and tumors that were in those rats, and those babies that you see right there. We don't need to get angry. Because when we get angry, we don't think good. Our mind is cloudy, foggy. We don't think clearly when we get angry. We just react. Instead of taking a seat and saying, what are we going to do, y'all? Well, really, I'm asking y'all. What are we going to do?
The malignancies and the tumors are growing already because the majority of our children diet. Oh. I have to say the malignancies and the tumors are growing in these children already because the majority of our children are raised on junk food. Their diet, it comes out of jars, fast food restaurants. Junk on top of more junk. And it's in there.
Yep.
The child gets a cold, they give them the cough syrup. The second crap is in the cough syrup. Our children are sick already. My one little self, I have a battle already with my grandchildren and what my daughter feeds them. And I can't keep it in my house. If I see somebody else, I speak to them about it, and it's like I'm the enemy. but I'm not gonna stop. But it's already there, it's already there. The children have ADHD.
Don't worry about it, 'cause I can't say it either.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
But it's sad because you send the children to the school, they're not learning anything at all because they're so hyper. The teacher spends half the day, sit down, be quiet, sit down, be quiet. We have a serious job. We all do.
That's why I said, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Because it ain't Islam.
Islam, to enforce the Constitution, that's what we should be doing.
Can't hear
It's
you.
the
You're on the mic.
Huh?
What Mother Delilah said. Right? We gotta be on the right side of it first. We gotta be on the right side of it first because corporations can't enforce it.
Right.
So we gotta be,
We as Moorish.
nationalized. We have to be in our proper person. Because corporations don't talk. Dead men and dead women don't talk. Any of y'all see a dead body talk, probably gonna run. The mother's right. The children already have been,
Made sick.
all the candy,
Planted up.
you talking about she said you going to school and they're not learning. You can't learn if you can't think.
Yep.
And the food that they're giving you is not helping you think. It's actually just, bringing you down. When you get that saccharin and that stuff, you get up, you run around, and then you sit there and trying to figure it.
Yep.
It don't work. It don't work. It's on us, y'all. It's on us. Right here, right now, it's on us. Right? She doing what she can do with her grandbabies, when she can do it. You do what you can with yours, with your nieces, with your nephews. When they come around, feed them good. Right? I ain't saying give them lettuce sandwiches, because then they ain't never coming back to your house. Feed them good when they come around. Right? All of these vaccines and all of this other nonsense and every, we was watching TV the other day, right? Was it a woman's product? They had about 19, 20 side effects, and one of them was death. All you gotta do is just mention that to me, and I ain't taking it. The possibility of me taking it is death. I'm supposed to be getting better, and it's gonna kill me. And then you gotta think. Then you gotta think too. Then you gotta think too.
I just didn't know I didn't hear what you said. What was the product that they was taking? I didn't hear what you said.
I don't know.
It was a medication, I don't remember.
Oh, you talking about on TV?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember what the product was. It was a feminine product, right? But if you listen, man, anytime you telling me that something I'm gonna take to get better can kill me, then it can't be making me better.
That's the side effect.
Right? If the side effect is bleeding ulcers and come on, man.
But they end the commercial with, now call your doctor and see if this is good for you.
Call your doctor and see if this is good for you. So when you call him, he gonna say, yeah, cool. Now if I call my doctor, which is Dr. Rafiq, I don't know how many of y'all know Dr. Rafiq, but Dr. Rafiq will give you a look to make you feel like you are plumb dumb. They say, Dr. Rafiq, what about it? He just look at you like, I should reach over there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, anything that they can prescribe you is poison. My sister went to school. My sister has whatever certificate or degree you get for pharmacology. And she refused to get a job doing pharmacology. When she finished because she paid for it. She got the degree. But when she got the degree, she simply said to me, I can't do this to people. Y'all know that drug Ritalin? That's for the babies.
Yes.
Ritalin is for the children, like
Yes.
calm them down. You know what the main ingredient is? Horse piss. That's the main ingredient. Horse piss.
It's in the immunizations too.
Horse piss. That's the main ingredient. That's what you. So listen, if your child acting up, save that bread that you spending on that Ritalin, and just go over to the farm and just get you some. Let them drink. Oh, that sound crazy? That sound crazy for me to say, take them to the farm and get them a couple horse piss and let them drink. But when I tell you that it's horse piss in the drugs, and you still let them take it, I mean, what's the difference? Cut the middleman out. Killing yourself. Sound crazy, but it's realistic. Those are rats again. Just so you can imagine what's going on inside the babies. GMOs today. As of November 19, 2015, the Food and Drug Administration, known as the FDA, has approved the first genetically modified salmon, despite insufficient testing and widespread opposition. How many of y'all eat salmon? Be honest. Raise your hand.
Just recently.
Now, as of 2 days ago, they just said it's okay. Right. Go ahead and create as much as you can in your laboratory. And go ahead and sell it. Go ahead and sell it. Right? So now you gotta go to the store, you gotta ask, is this wild caught? Right. Is this farm raised? Is this genetically modified? That don't make sense. You should just be able to go buy some salmon and eat it. Now you gotta go through three. Is it wild caught? Is it farm raised? Is it genetically modified? And forgive me, but is farm raised and genetically modified the same thing?
No.
It's not?
Yes, yes,
It can
Let's
be.
go.
Yes.
Is it not?
yes.
It is, in regards to what they just passed 2 days ago.
Meeting the GMOs.
Exactly, it's the feed.
Mm-hmm.
Because farm raised, they're controlling what that fish, what that, animal is eating. Now with it being GMO,
Okay.
you don't know, and they're
Now-
not required to label it.
Right.
So call me crazy. All right. What do fish eat?
Smaller fish.
Allergy,
Smaller fish, algae,
And insects.
Yes.
insects, seaweed, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they feed them in the farm?
corn.
Then they genetically modified. They don't eat corn.
Corn is a newspaper.
When you feed, now pay attention to what I'm about to say. When you feed something that it doesn't naturally eat,
Modified.
y'all ain't dumb.
All right.
Y'all ain't dumb. How many of y'all got canines? You got canines? Let me see.
Oh, the
Let me see. Take that ring off. She got canines. I'm getting out of here. Take that ring off.
Minute Maid.
You ain't got canines. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. She got canines. Take that ring off out of here. Right? You ain't got canines. So you ain't supposed to be devouring meat. The animals that's supposed to eat meat got canines and they sharp and they long as my fingers or my hand. And they just go into the meat and just rip it apart. You can't do that. In fact, when it comes to eating meat, if you didn't season it the way you like, you wouldn't eat it. Just go get then all right, cool, just go eat a piece of chicken. Don't put no season, no salt, pepper, flour. Just go eat a piece of chicken. I challenge any of them.
It'd be horrible.
It ain't be hard, but you ain't even gonna get past putting it on your tongue. It's gonna be cold and wet. You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? This is what we face. The company producing it is called Aqua Bounty. This is how they actually have their title. Aqua with a capital B, Bounty, but it's one word. So it's almost to me like they putting bounty out there, like we putting a bounty on your head. Like why they pronounce it? It could have been a lowercase b, or it could have just been two words. But it's one word together, and the B is uppercase. It's almost like I'm sending you a message. Like I want you to understand. Even with the disastrous environmental record, the FDA, the Federal Drug
Death.
Food and Drug Administration, not federal, Food and Drug Administration approved Aqua Bounty to develop this frankenfish for consumption. Now, they got a disastrous environmental record. Why would they allow them to produce anything? They should be shut down. They've been open since 1991 up there in Massachusetts. Why are they still open? If they got a disastrous environmental record, you would expect, especially up here, that's where what they quote unquote the old money is at, right? That's where the presidents like to hang out at up there in Massachusetts. So you're telling me they even let somebody with a disastrous environmental record survive up there? You know why? Because they grease their pockets. A little bit of grease, you do anything.
Rob, question.
Come to the mic, please.
just want to know, what is
I know you ain't
canola?
whispering to the mic, man. Did y'all hear him whisper? He walked to the mic.
I just want to know, what is a canola? Like, what's canola oil? I try to stay away from that.
I don't know.
Is it also GMO?
I don't know what canola is.
Canola
It
oil.
is GMO.
I don't know what canola oil is, man. What
It's
canola is?
GMO.
Because it's everywhere. It's like corn oil. It's like
Yeah.
vegetable.
I don't know what it is.
We can Google it.
Anybody know what canola is?
We can Google it. Somebody Google it.
Flowers. Grains.
Somebody Google it.
You know what it is? Oh, come on to the mic. No, she about to tell you right now, Mom.
Go ahead.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Canola oil it's a man-made oil, and the reason why the two scientists that put it together, took the palladium and vanadium,
I'm sorry, can you speak up? I'm sorry.
the palladium and
It's this
Just
mic, the
talking
mic.
to the mic.
okay, yeah. Palladium and palladium is very high in oils. So if you Google corn oil, the vegetable oils, another oil, olive oil. There's palladium and palladium is very high in it. So the scientists came up with the process of taking those harmful chemicals out of it. And that's why everybody's talking about, oh, canola oil is no good, it's no good. But if you look up palladium and palladium and see what they are. And that's why they came up with the canola oil that everybody's saying is so bad.
Is it good?
It is good for us. I don't have my books with me, I usually come in here for a bag, but I have the studies on it. So if y'all wanna look it up.
So, we'll wait for you to bring it next time.
Okay.
And we'll just go back and
Thank
do
you.
it next time.
All right.
So the question was, what is canola oil, and is it good for you? And the mother said that there are two specific oils that are in the other oils.
Chemicals.
Two other chemicals that are in the other oils. They extracted those chemicals from the oils. What are they again? Palladium,
Palladium and
Palladium.
molybdenum.
palladium, and what else?
Molybdenum.
Molybdenum. Palladium and molybdenum. They extracted those two, and then they came up with canola oil once they extracted those chemicals out of there. So she's saying canola oil is safe for us to consume. Although numerous members of Congress are against this, the Food and Drug Administration made it happen anyway. This product, who's back to talk? I hear y'all back to talk. If I can hear y'all, then everyone can hear y'all. So when people go to watch the video, they're gonna hear y'all conversation and they're not gonna hear me.
What you looking at? Canola oil.
This product, as with many others, does not have to identify itself as genetically modified fish. The U.S. will be the very last corporation to force GMO labeling. Now, when you go into the supermarket and they got some fish that they made, forced labeling. Currently, there are 64 countries around the world that force GMO labeling. Australia, Brazil, China, India, Japan, Russia, Spain, United Kingdom, to name a few. The U.S. has no intention of it. You already know that because I told you a little while ago that they shot that proposition down in California 2 years ago. Now, if they shot it down 2 years ago, why didn't it come back the next year? Or the year after that? Or even, you know what I'm saying? You shot it down once, I'm gonna bring it back. I wanna know now, are you going to enforce this GMO label? They just let it die. You know why? Because they fought it away. So.
Question, are these, what Obama signed, are these executive orders, are they laws? Do they end, is there a time period where it comes back up to be voted on, or what? Or is it permanent?
What do you mean, this, or you mean Prop 37?
Prop 37.
Prop 37 had nothing to do with Barack Obama. Prop 37 was put out by the people in California. They presented it to the politicians. They said, look, we need this passed. We want this passed. We want this to be made so-called law. Because we know it's not law. We want this to become so-called law, so to force these companies to label their genetically modified foods. But you see them big companies that I talk about, Kraft, Whole Foods, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they all spent millions to shoot it down. Now the thing is this, why didn't they bring it back up? There's a whole lot of stuff that's still on the books. What's that presidential order? Presidential order, 11110? Y'all know about that?
Yeah.
I'm changing gears for a second, I can't help it. Do y'all know about that? Presidential Executive Order 1110?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you about it. 1963, Dallas, Texas. They shot President Kennedy. Right? Why?
11110.
You speaking too much information, but on what specifically? No, we're gonna be specific. We gonna say they're gonna tell you.
The reinforcement of Article 1, Section
Right.
10 of the American Constitution.
My man says, you know what? Go on over to the vault, right? I want you to get all the silver certificates out of there. Bring them out. We're gonna put them back in circulation. Pass this executive order right here. We're gonna put that Fed out of business. We're gonna get rid of the franking money. Put the real money back in circulation. No, sir.
10 days.
Right? Now, how many presidents have there been since John F. Kennedy? Come on, y'all. You said 9 or none? Well, nobody who cared to do anything for you.
That's what I'm saying.
How many people have sat in the presidential office since John F. Kennedy? Let's go through them. Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Johnson,
Who
yeah.
was next?
Nixon,
Nixon. Who was next?
Ford,
Ford. Who was next? Carter. Who was next? Reagan. Who was next? Papa Bush. Who was next? Clinton. Baby Bush. Barack Obama. How many is that?
9.
Presidential Executive Order 1110 can still be signed in today. It only takes for the president to sign it. Lyndon Baines Johnson, so for anybody who say SetenRa don't know what he's talking about, and they didn't kill him over that presidential executive order, Lyndon Baines Johnson's first order of business was to do what?
rescind it.
Rescind that order. Put the Fed back in business. Don't tell me that ain't why they killed him. If you want to argue, I'll see you later. Because I can read. And I can comprehend what I read. So when the mother asked me, can it still be brought up? Of course it can still be brought up. Of course it can. But those politicians that took all those millions of bucks might end up in the river somewhere, or not found, or bears might be eaten in Yosemite, who knows? Because they took those millions. Of course it can be brought back up. It's been 9 presidents since my man. But that limo driver got everybody shook. Let me figure out why I said that. As of October 29, 2013, there were at least 26 countries who had partial or total bans of GMOs, including Australia, Austria, China, India, France, Germany, Luxembourg, Greece, Bulgaria, Poland, Italy, Mexico, and Russia. How is it that that's probably the poorest country on that list? Mexico. It's probably the poorest country on that list. How they ban GMOs and we did? They don't bring it in, but we still allow it, and we still consume it, and we still live it. Y'all, we might as well move to Mexico. At least we know we can eat good. I can tell you this. 2007, March. Some of y'all know my cousin Rafael. Me and her flew to Germany to go see some of our other cousins. We flew to Frankfurt, Germany. They picked us up in Frankfurt, and they took us to a meat market somewhere off in the middle of nowhere. Right? You remember me telling you about this meat market? How many of y'all remember Hajjab? Y'all remember Hajjab? That nasty meat market used to be up here. It was 2 of them.
Yeah,
One of Germantown, of Germantown, and another one down there. So you walk into Hajjab, it smell like all hell. I hated going in there with my mom. You go in there and it smell like death, and it just stunk, and I hate it. It's also a chicken market. It might still be there, right past Lehigh on Germantown Ave, right before Germantown, where the 23 curves and goes down 10th Street. It's a chicken market right there. You can go over there, they cut the chicken head off, they fix them up for you. And there's another one right here, I think on Lycoming Street, between Germantown and Grove. Go into these places, they stink. They stink. When we went in that meat market in Germany, just no bull. Didn't smell like nothing. I went in there and then I was like, and I'm looking around and I'm looking at all this red meat. The meat looked vibrant, right? And I'm just looking at it. And I'm thinking like, this ain't hot. Like, what the hell? Y'all following what I'm saying? They ain't going out their way to kill him. They're not going out their way to sell them to death. Even though some people will say, I'm not going to eat meat. Meat is a dead entity. That animal is dead, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But their meat was clean as all hell compared to the stores that I've been in here. That was way back in 2007. This 13, they wasn't allowing it. They probably wasn't having it back then either. You can go into a meat store today. Even when you go into, how many times you see on YouTube, they got a package of meat, you see a worm. Come on, man. Go to YouTube and look, that's on there. They got worms crawling through the package, under the plastic. That's in the market. Y'all know the type of stuff they're doing to this stuff just to give it a little more shelf life? That's why I started to stink, because it's already decayed.
Yep.
That's why when you go to the bathroom, you got to open up 6 windows, 3 doors, probably go to the neighbors for 30 minutes and then come back, because you can't even take it. Back to Monsanto Company Incorporated. Legalizing of cannabis, marijuana has piqued the interest of millions across North America. People have started farming and producing various different plants to satisfy consumers' taste. Guess who's in on the pot now?
Monsanto?
Monsanto.
Oh, my goodness.
You gotta raise your hand.
That's why it doesn't smell
Well,
like
if any of y'all in here that smoke weed, marijuana, cannabis, pot, joint, whatever you want to call it, get ready. Even though you should have been ready, because what you should understand is marijuana, right? When you start talking about, I smoke orange, I smoke purple haze, and I smoke green tree and blueberry muffin, that stuff don't grow nowhere. Nowhere on the planet. There's something called purple haze grow. Nowhere on the planet. That means they done already modified it. That means they done already chemically treated it. I never smoked marijuana. Now, one desire, never had it one. I was in Jamaica, and when you come out the airport, that's the welcoming committee. Some cats with marijuana. Every time I've been to Jamaica, right? You come out, yo, say, I'm outside. No, I don't smoke what? Right? But the smell of it is like perfume to me. Being honest, the smell of it is like perfume. Listen, I've never smoked in my life, but I knew the difference in what I saw up here and what I saw down there. What they got up here is weed. What they got down there is marijuana. There's a difference. Now, two of my cousins, man, they smoke day and night, right? They went and called themselves, thinking they was Bob Marley, wrote something like this. We ain't see them dudes for hours. They was on their backs. It's a total difference. They grow it. They go out back, they take a machete, they chop it, and then they come to the resort. And they sell it to you. Now, if I was a weed smoker, and I went down there and I smoked that, and then I came back here and smoked this, I probably would stop smoking. That's just me. I would be looking forward to going back to Jamaica to get some real stuff, as opposed to the crap that they put together here. I don't even smoke, and I know that. I'm just saying, think about that with your food. I don't know if there's any more slides you can check. That might be the last one. One more? What is it? Well, they go over there to legalizing weed, yo. They done already did soybean. They done already did corn. They done already did pig.
Yep.
Now they moving in on weed. But they about to legalize it everywhere. They about to legalize it everywhere. You can be able to walk down the street, corner store, and get it. They hit on the weed. What's next? what's next? Water. They're gonna infiltrate your body however they can. But, go back one slide, 26 countries, that was 213. How y'all think they did that?
What was
How
that
y'all
again?
think they did that? All them countries, you think it was the government that did it?
The people.
People did it. The problem here is the people don't stand for nothing. The people here stand for the wrong things. You want to defend Empire. Empire is a good show. Leave Terrence Howard alone. The hell with Terrence Howard, man. The babies got tumors. The babies got malignancies. They only 8, 9 years old. By the time they get 15, they ain't gonna be able to walk. Then you wonder why they got weak bones, right? Always coughing and sneezing and farting all over the place. Because of the food. How many, be honest, who in here can grow food?
That's right.
Anybody in here know how to grow food? You know how to grow food? All right. Now, James Bey is not here, but he knows how to grow food as well. Right? None of us don't know how to grow food. So what we gonna do?
That's right.
We can always learn. But we need the land to grow it on, right? Well, you remember what the Mother from Forgotten Food said. That if the nutrients ain't in the soil, then it's not in the food. You already know that they done twisted up the soil here in Africa, India. They twisted it up everywhere they could get their hands on.
And with the chemtrails, it's just around.
Y'all want to know where I saw chemtrails at that blew my mind? Because I just couldn't understand why. Grand Canyon. Right? The brother just dropped his head, like, come on. Real talk. We out there, and I looked, and I said, I'll show you, I got the pictures in my phone, in my pocket, I'll show it to you. I couldn't understand why they spraying chemtrails in the Grand Canyon, and then it hit me. Huh? No, man, the Colorado River runs right through the Grand Canyon. They drop it in the canyon, get in the river, get in the fish, go downstream. We get you one way or the other. Listen, Vegas is right down the road. You know how many people down there in Vegas taking showers, drinking that water? People get drunk, they do all kinds of stuff, right? Now, imagine this, that same water that they dropping them chemtrails in, when it flows downstream and it goes into Vegas, do you think they not cooking your food in that water? Do you think they not washing them sheets and pillows and blankets and stuff in that water?
Yep.
It's hot as hell in Vegas. You out there sweating, you going to take your numbers, come on. I just want y'all to think. I just want y'all to see what's going on here. But at the same time, I want y'all to think about this and see what went on there. It's the people. The government don't care. The politicians, they don't care. They care about that. It's up to the people. It's up to us. It's up to, I ain't even gonna say y'all, I'm gonna say us. It's up to us. If we want to change gotta come from us. It gotta come from you. Any questions, comments? Anybody got anything to add on?
If I may, I don't want to
Help yourself.
even more so. I'm just,
Scare them, maybe
just to share information.
Yes.
Because I've researched and have been ever since, I guess 2011 with Fukushima, right? So the information that the brother's sharing, and we're in critical times, especially when it comes to our food. So I'm saying this because we went over the salmon issue. And the result is that we're going to have to be particular about what we do eat, whatever it is, whatever choice we make in eating, whether it's vegetables, meats, or whatever, because not only is the GMO fish approved, but ever since Fukushima, this is what they have done. Ever since Fukushima, with the earthquake
the tsunami and the explosion. And it was they said a meltdown. It was a melt through.
Yep.
They never found those cores.
Yes.
You know, those core, the core, those things, those core.
Yes.
You know what I mean, right? They went down in the ground. Those things in the waterbed. It's contaminated the Pacific Ocean. So it can't be stopped.
Right.
Those nuclear sites in Japan, Fukushima, it cannot be contained. They have actually contaminated the largest water source in the world, the Pacific Ocean. So that means that it can't be changed, it can't be stopped. So that means that the largest, and we researched, you know, so the largest fish, the salmon, the whales, all of that, good stuff, you know, the tuna. The largest fish consume the other fish, but those fish are in the Pacific Ocean, so they're being contaminated. So that means that we only have a certain amount of time to even enjoy our seafood, not just Fukushima, but also the Gulf of Mexico, because of the oil spill.
Yep.
And the shrimp. I'm a researcher, so, you know, and I have a Facebook page that I put we put information out like y'all do. So the Gulf of Mexico, we found out that like the shrimp and seafood have tumors. So when you buy seafood, check it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Shrimp are being born without eyes.
Whoa.
What they use to contain the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, that Corex chemical,
Yes.
and what that did was it sunk. It's still there, it's at the bottom. People can't see it.
Yep.
So we have those are two major issues. So we actually have a certain amount of time, like, let me see. 3 years ago, they said we had 5 years before that contamination in the ocean through the currents came over here. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that means that it's totally critical to us as mothers and fathers and sons and daughters to share this information, because we have to do extra things to try to have a certain amount of protection.
Yes.
Clay, baking soda, Epsom salt soaps, at least a couple times a week. We have a certain amount of time until we won't be able to enjoy salmon and tuna and stuff, because when they did the test, most all the tuna was contaminated, and certain things we're gonna have to get. Farming and growing food is, those people, the white folks are already doing it. They have the resources, they got the land, they have the equipment. They're already, that's why they're into the agriculture. They're doing permaculture, hydroponics.
Yeah.
That's when you grow your own food and your own fish in one tank. The fish feed the plants, da-da-da. But anyway, so we have to learn these skill sets, you know, and do what needs to be done to at least get whatever nutrition we're going to get. And when we spend our monies, you know, just be particular. So this information has to be shared to the young folk. You know, they don't know. They're shopping, buying all this box food in the supermarket. Children don't even know that string beans and potatoes and carrots and stuff come out the ground. You know, so I'm just, you know, on top of what y'all are showing the people, just adding. Because we have to, all our cousins and loved ones and all of that, we have to tell them and show them how to raise these babies. That's why these babies are getting sick. You know, and the children are getting sick. And the elderly and even if you look at the indigenous people from Mexico or wherever, if you look at them now, here in the U.S., they're one of the biggest major medical, like they're really in the health system because they're ill, and it's from, they contaminated the corn and they contaminated the food. So it's just to share this info. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, before you go. That's it, I just want to address it. First of all, I want to thank you for that, because that was needed. That was necessary. But I want to ask you, what prompted you to come to this class?
Say it up again.
Yeah, so we can hear you. Well, yeah.
Well, actually, I'm 58. I'm almost 60 years old, and I've been studying history and culture since I was 17.
Okay.
I never really studied the Moorish sciences, but I studied with a number of our leaders, and my sister here invited me. Sister Basma, we come, you know, from this 80s and 70s or what have you, and I've seen the brothers, met the brothers and stuff, and my family studies, you know, the law and stuff, but I actually personally came to be amongst, you know, the people, because I stay in the house. You know, I stay in the house and schoolwork, so I came to be amongst, to get information and share information, that's why I came.
So now I'm going to give you some. I want to address a couple of things that you said. First, you said them white folks. Right?
Yeah.
First, you said them white folks.
Yeah.
So you saying oops, yeah, it tells me that you already know.
Yeah.
They ain't white folks.
Right.
Right? They Albanians.
Right.
Or you can call them a modern European, because the ancient modern European, the ancient European looks like you.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you also said the indigenous people of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I just want to make you aware that the indigenous people of Mexico also look like you.
Yes.
Right? So be clear that you're talking about yourself.
Okay.
The ancient or older Mexicans or Olmecs,
Yes.
they're Olmos. Right? So you're talking North America, Central America, South America,
Mm-hmm.
and all the adjoining islands. I want you to be abundantly and absolutely clear that those people that descend from those lands are your ancestors.
Yes.
Ancient
Yes.
Olmecs.
Indeed.
Right? Now, to clear something else up, people want to argue about, you can say, I'm going to put you on the spot with that. You know, this whole thing about Moors. And before I go into that, let me say this. Maku was back there, and he had some food still left on the table. He has to break at 3 or 3:30? 3? He has to break at 3. So if y'all want any of that food, go get some. You already know I want some. And some carrot cake. But back to what I was saying. What was I saying? I got twisted on that carrot cake. The Moabites. What I want to point out is this, is that a lot of people keep wanting to argue about who Moors are we Moors, are we this, are we that, and then they talk about all of these different tribes, and they talk about all of these different lands in Africa, and we were from here, and we were from there, and all of this other nonsense, right? So the oldest bones found on the body, found on the planet, belong to who?
Lucy. Moabite.
Moabite woman, Moabite mother, right? Now, Miss Janet, can you come up for a second? You mind?
Yeah, bring your cup.
That's my buddy right here. That's Miss Janet. And this is Miss Janet. So the reason I asked Miss Janet to come up is because Miss Janet is a couple years older than I am. Right? Now, if Miss Phyllis came up here, Miss Phyllis is probably young enough to be her daughter, but old enough to be my mother. right? Probably. I got these young women up here, I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Okay.
Y'all. I ain't trying to get in trouble. That's why I said probably, right? But, no, I ain't gonna actually, I ain't gonna ask you, I don't want no trouble. Just trying to make a point. So, if Miss Phyllis is her daughter, and Sabrina's her daughter, and I'm her son, and Mother Delilah is her daughter, and the brother's sitting right here, what's your name, bro? Tyrone is her son. I'm a Hittite. Let's go back. She's the Moabite. She's the Moabite mom. I'm a Hittite. He's a Canaanite. She's some other kind of Ite. She's an Amalekite. And she's some other kind of Ite. We all came from who?
Moabite woman.
And then when we all grew up and we all left the house, I'm going this way. She's going that way. He's going that way. He's going that way. Why are we still arguing about who is who? We are all descended from the same people. So you went to West Coast. So what? You went to the East Coast. Big deal. She's still our mother. We got all these people. These fools up in New York want to jump on Taj the other day. Well, they tried to jump on Taj. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. They call themselves jumping on Taj. Of course, Taj hit them with 1-2. And then they waited until Taj left. And then they said, well, I was being respectful because Taj is an elder. No, you just didn't want to get your butt handed to you. That's all that was, because he was there for over 40 minutes. You had ample opportunity to say whatever it is you wanted to say, but you waited until he left. Abdullah just walked in. That's Master Teacher Abdullah Iltali Mosi Bey right there. Abdullah has been to New York how many times? He probably don't even know. Why they don't run up on him? Why they run up on Abdullah and say, Abdullah? Nah. You know what they said? They said, we want to debate some of the younger Moors. Why? Dude, Abdullah got over 20 years. Debate him. They don't want no trouble. They don't want no trouble. They like 0-degree scholars. They ain't even got no degrees. Only thing scholar means is that you study. But you can't study one thing and think that you know everything. Abdullah told me a couple years ago. He said, when you came into Moorish science, you was well-rounded. I didn't just learn about Moorish science. I was studying all types of stuff. And he'll tell you, we can talk about a whole lot. Shoot. He said you're well-rounded. Those guys ain't well-rounded. They on one-way streets. You know how many streets there is in the city? How lost you can get? That's the same way you get lost in books. Same way you get lost in information. But if you're going to be ignorant and not know your culture, your history, they don't need you want to debate nobody. Listen, they can tell me that they're going to pay me $1 million bucks, right? And I want silver, I don't want the green. They can tell, and I'm not going to debate it. It's a waste of time for us to stand there and argue about what you think and about what I know. Because they say, I believe, I think. I believe, I think. Look, bro, the information is there. Our beyond don't hide nothing. We just don't look. Turn over some rocks and see what you find. We busy arguing about who we are. One mother, Moabite mother, her children, and her families. Call them tribes because all tribes mean is families. All over the place. All over the place. I saw something down City Hall the other day that made me think, I'm gonna see what it do for y'all. In that northeast corner of City Hall, where that cornerstone is in the open grave pit. Any of y'all ever been down there before?
Yeah.
Not down there.
Yes, not down in there, but there.
Where at?
City Hall.
Yes.
In the northeast corner of City Hall,
Yes.
where the cornerstone is, it's in an open grave pit. So you know the cornerstone is actually supposed to be, the cornerstone is usually outside, not inside in the open grave pit. Right? So they got it there, and they got all the fly stuff written on it. Who the mayor was, who the treasurer was, and tell you that they was 33rd-degree Masons and all that, just right there on the brick. Right? But if you go in there and you look up, it's a bear, it's a lion, it's a bison, and then there's one other animal. I can't remember what the fourth animal is, right? And then I'm sitting there and I started smiling. Because the elephant and the lion are native to where? And the bison and that other animal was native to this thing. Right? Why did they put them up there? I'm gonna sit down because I'm gonna wait. Why all four of them in the same place?
Because it is all one place.
You didn't give me, I was gonna get a couple minutes to sit down. Because it's the same place. It's the same place. You standing in Africa.
Yeah.
You standing in Africa. I sat there and I looked up and I was like, huh. I think I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it now. When you go into these old structures, when you go into these old buildings, look up. That's where it's at. They draw, they sculpt, they wrap on the ceilings. Look up. When you go to these old structures, look up. Go to City Hall, look up.
Yeah. You got the Africans holding up the pillars, the natives holding up the pillars in there.
Look up. They're the same people.
Beautiful.
Go look up. And I promise you, you'll be there for a minute. Because you can be sitting there like, damn, if you got to get some binoculars, you got to get whatever. Just go look up. Look at all the stuff that's sculpted on City Hall. See how your face is all over the place. Go look. Any questions, comments? Anybody got anything to add?
How you doing, brother?
Peace, what's up?
My question is, I do a lot of research of my own. I mean, I'm not as knowledgeable as you, I guess. But the one place I get stuck on is I learned about what the system is in place and what it's doing and what it's supposed to there for. But I'm stuck at how do I challenge the system? You know, I'd still be right. And I understand that you gotta, like they say, you gotta fight till death for your freedom. But I feel like I'm ready to do that, but I just don't know where to start the challenge so I can, you know, protect myself and my family and friends and family that's around me. So my question is like, where do you really start on how to protect yourself and, you know, your family?
Okay. What's your name, bro?
Malik.
Malik what?
Malik Boyd. That's the thing too. I understand that, you know, per se appellation, and I gotta change my entity name state where I own it, and I'm in the process of copyrighting my name so I can have the ownership of it, and then, you know, so forth.
So once you go through the process of copyrighting and legally owning your name, then
That's where I'm stuck at.
all right. So how is it that you're going to copyright and legally own something that don't belong to you, that belongs to somebody else who's already got a copyright on it?
Right.
How you gonna take it? You gonna kill it?
No.
How you gonna take it back?
I guess through the copyright was,
or you gonna give it back?
I mean, I would give it back, and right now it's copyrighted by, you know, making the affidavit that it is filed with the public records of the county clerk office and making it a public record.
Did you create the affidavit?
Copied up online.
Where?
National Registry, something like that.
You got a copy of it? Which?
Here on my home, yeah.
Can I see it?
Cool.
I'm gonna read it. I'm not gonna read this information, but I'm gonna read that. Do me a favor, pull up the name declaration. Already made publications. Huh? Just say, I'll pull it up. In fact, while I pull this up, if you don't mind, can you read it? The reason I'm asking them to do this, is because I want him to be 100% clear on what it is he's doing and what it is that he's not doing, right? So I want to show him what he needs to do. I could easily tell him, Some of y'all already know what to do. He has no clue. So I'm gonna show him what it is that he needs to see. My man said he copyrighted something and taking ownership of something that doesn't belong to him. That's usually called stealing. That name, even though your mother gave it to you, it belongs to them. When you got that birth certificate, that was their copyright. Right? When you was made a ward of the state, when you was turned into a corporation overnight, that was their copyright on that entity. That all caps name, right? You clear on that? Do you understand that? All right. Now, that birth certificate, a lot of people do different things with it. They get it authenticated. They say that they're going to claim ownership of it and all this other stuff, right? But it's not yours. It's like when you get a driver's license. If you drop your driver's license and I pick it up, I can mail it back to you. But technically what I'm supposed to do is mail it back to PennDOT because it's theirs. They just gave you the car, but it's their driver's license. The same thing if you get a license to carry. You get a license to carry. Yeah, I got my license to carry. No, you don't. Turn it over. On the back of it, they say, if found, please return to the Philadelphia Police Department. Because it's theirs. You can say it's my license to carry all you want. If you violate that license to carry, they do what? They take it because it's theirs. You got children? They got birth certificates. If you violate their property, what they do? They take it. Don't worry about the paperwork.
I got it now, I finally got it.
All right. All right.
I have a copy of that.
I'm gonna read this to you. It says legal notice. In fact, we did this in the last class. Right. Legal notice from the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World. Do you know what the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World is? Okay. Legal notice. Name declaration, correction, proclamation, and publication. When I started the last class, what I did was I defined each one of those. She has the last class. It's probably up there on the shelf. Buy it. It's 5 notes. In fact, y'all go buy them DVDs. They 5 notes a piece, and they 5 for 20. Grab a couple. It says, I newly proclaim Bey, being duly affirmed, standing squarely, declare and proclaim upon divine law, nature's law, universal law, Moorish birthrights, international law, and constitutional law, declare and say, I, being previously identified by the Union States Society of North America, U.S.A. under the colorable wardship name, whatever your name is, in all capital letters, do hereby refute the fraud, make public and publish my corrected national name. Key words, national name. Right? Declare and affirm my true, proper person status and reclaim my rightful social and cultural life of the state in accord with my Moorish nation of Northwest Amexem, North America, acknowledging my birthrights. Having lawfully and legally obtained and proclaimed my Moorish nationality and birthright, name and title. They looking for me? Name and title. In harmony with, in association with, and in accord with divine law, the customs and the laws, rules, and usages of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, being aboriginal and indigenous and bound to the North American continent by heritage, by primogeniture, by birthright, by natural birth, by freehold and inheritance. Declare for the public record, I am returning the European cognomen and fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors of its pedigree. I am now rightfully declaring, publishing, and proclaiming my own free national name, affirming my actual, rightful, and civil and full life status conjoined to my Moorish American consequent pedigree and national honor. Let it be declared, known, published, and resolved that I am, whatever your new free national name is, in propria persona, Sir Juris, means being in my own proper person, by birthright and inheritance, without the foreign imposed color of law or assumed due process of the Union State Society pursuant to but not limited to. Number 1, the Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. Number 2, United States Republic, Department of Justice, Moorish American Credentials, AA 222141, Truth A-1. The United States Supreme Court Law, Acts of State. Number 4, the United States Constitution, Article 3, Section 2. Amendment 5, the Liberty Laws. Amendment 9, Reservation of the Rights of the People. Number 5, Resolution number 75, dated April 17, 1933. Moorish American Society of Philadelphia and the use of their names. Number 6, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, United Nations Human Rights, Article 15. Number 7, the Rights of Indigenous People, United Nations General Assembly, Part 1, Article 4. Wherefore I, whatever your free national name is, being part and parcel, named herein, and by birthright, primogeniture, and inheritance, make a lawful and legal entry of affidavit and public notification of nationality, proclamation, name correction claim, declaration, affirmation, and application herewith published for the public record. And then you sign it with 2 witnesses, right? This will be your first step to taking back what's rightfully yours, what's yours from birth, right? Now, you can create an affidavit. It doesn't have to be that. It needs to say what that says, right? You need to have it signed, and you need to have it witnessed, and you should have it sealed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make copies of it. You're going to send it to various agencies on a local level, on the state level, on the federal level, and international. You want to put people on notice that you're making this proclamation, that you're making this declaration. That's the first step. The second step is going to be to make yourself aware of certain things that you should be aware of. If you look on there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, are you familiar with any of that? It's all right to say no, bro.
Not all of it, no.
Because at one point, none of us knew.
Right.
So it's okay to say no, I'm not familiar with it.
Right.
So the reason I'm asking you is because you should familiarize yourself with all of that. Right? Because when you talk about protecting your family, that's what's going to help you protect your family.
Right.
That rights of indigenous people, that Declaration on Human Rights, that Constitution, that Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Once you understand the Constitution, and you read in there that it says that all treaties and everything preceding this Constitution is binding against the United States,
Right.
that means the Articles of Confederation, both of them,
Right.
right? So you should read it, you should get familiar with it. If you're really talking about protecting yourself and your family, right? This stuff ain't hard. It's not, because y'all not dumb. Y'all can comprehend it. Islam. Y'all can comprehend it, right? So read it. Don't go making no moves that's going to injure or harm you or your family.
Right.
Because I don't want you coming here and saying, yo, man, they took my children. Slow down, research, and then make your move. Right? You can go to a website called RB Bey Publications. That's where that document is at.
It's a RBB?
RB Bey. RBBEY Publications.com. Yeah, let's get a brother back in document. I don't want no trouble. Any further information you need, man, you can see me or you can see somebody else in here who has it. We family in here. Ain't nobody turning no backs or turning no deaf ears on anybody. Islam.
When we put in the declaration, to get your identity back, how does that affect, like, you doing businesses?
It's absolutely going to affect you doing business. And why is that? Because they're going to try to give you a hard way to go, right? They're going to say, oh no, we can't accept that, we can't do this, we can't do that. So what needs to happen is this: you need to study before you make those moves, right? You need to be able to understand and comprehend the Constitution. You need to understand that politicians work for you, right? They work for the people. So when they're saying what they can't do and what they won't do, they should be held accountable for it. But if you don't, Islam.
Please, just to let you know, our battery, my battery's gonna die, and any second I forgot my charger, so I don't know what happened, but, I just wanted to say if it cuts out, I'm gonna be here till it dies, but, if
That's
it
over
cuts out,
Arcana,
you know what? All right?
Okay. Peace, bro. What we got? Doing business. Yeah, so the one thing that we don't do, that a lot of people don't do, is they don't study. Right? And they go and they make moves because they hear what somebody else said they did. Right? If you don't have a full comprehension of what to do, in fact, Tosh told me this about 4 years ago. If you don't know what to do, don't do it. Study. There's nothing wrong with asking questions to say, what should I do? And then I'm gonna do the same thing that I learned from him. I'll give you some. The rest is for you to figure out. Because just like the prophet said, if I tell you all of it, you're gonna go back to sleep. Even if I give you half, you might go back to sleep. So I gotta give you enough for you to say, all right, let me go look some stuff up. For everybody who need to do some research, who need to do some reading, I want you to go to RB Bey Publications, right? Go to the link. Thank you, bro. You leave? Yeah. What's your love, man? Where you going, man? It's going back. Oh, man. That's my cool. Good class. Cool, okay. Thanks, bro. Go to RB Bey Publications. And two things. Click on the link that says nationality cards and read that whole page. Read the whole page. Now, in order for you to say you study something, you need to review it. You can't read something one time and say you studied it, because you don't even remember what you read. You need to review something at least twice in order to say I studied. Go to that page that says nationality IDs and read it. And then go to the page that says writs of error and read it. Before you even get to any of the writs at the bottom of the page, you're gonna be scrolling. It's gonna take you a while. Read it and be able to comprehend it. You need dictionaries to be able to comprehend. You need a Black's Law, 4th edition. Anybody now B is our connect. That's not B right there. Just raise his hand in the back with the flags and the fences. That's your man for the Black's Law. That's your man for Black's Law. If you can't afford to buy Black's Law, then we got it on flash drive, and you can just skim through it that way. The time for feeling ashamed and being embarrassed because that shit is over. Forgive me because it's babies back there. But them days is over. We in the age of Aquarius, it's the information age. It's time for us to uplift each other. How am I gonna say that I'm good, I'm up, and you down? It don't work like that. Oh man, my word, if I say I'm gonna be there, I'm coming. Look for me, look up. If I'm there 5 minutes later, I'm coming, though. Count on me. I need to know that I can count on you. I need to know when you say, I need to know you're coming. We need to know that from each other. Go to that page. Go to those 2 pages. Go to the page that says nationality card. Read the entire page 2 or 3 times. Go to the writs of error. And before you don't even think about the writs, read. And then read again. And then read again. Read. If you got to read it out loud, read it out loud. But I want you to absorb it. I don't want you to put the information in. I want you to finally start bringing it out. It's already in you. The light is shining. You the one got the shade on the lamp. Take the shade off the lamp. Take the shade. You remember that? You take the shade off the lamp and the room get brighter. Take the shade off the lamp. Go read. So this way you can what you do? Yeah, so this way when it comes to questions like how do I begin that process, it's right there. You can read it, right? And then these people, we still available for you to ask. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for the mother. How do I move in commerce? Once you start to read and understand certain things, you'll understand. And like you said, we still here for questions. Lost. It's bad. Candy man out.
I have a question.
Sorry.
My name is Noble Burrell Reynolds, say L. And I just wanted to ask a
question that's somewhat off topic, and it has to do with the incident that happened in Paris. So as a Moor, how are we to address or even respond?
You broke. Huh? You broke. I'm messing.
How do we address or respond to the incident that happened in Paris with us being Moors?
How do we respond or address it? Who they say did that? ISIS?
Yeah, false flag.
Huh?
It's a false flag.
Who's ISIS?
Israel.
The mother of horrors?
Mother of horse? You said mother of horse? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought he said the mother of horse. So who is ISIS? So we know that ISIS and Horus, we know those Greek names, we don't address that. That's a SetenRa rule. He ain't never gonna hear me giving you no Greek names for my ancestors. That ain't gonna happen. That's a SetenRa rule. But who is ISIS? Who are these people that they said attacked?
Langley.
Right?
United
Who are
States government.
Say that again.
It's a group of them, yeah.
Say it again. Speak up.
United States government.
Damn right. Listen, man. That's the Marines over there. That's the CIA over there. Listen. What happened to the Taliban?
Taliban.
What, did they just quit?
Taliban.
They was tired?
Yeah, they got tired.
What happened?
They renamed them.
They, listen,
Ebola got tired too.
they homies. Papa Bush, Bin Laden's Papa Bush was the head of the CIA.
Yes.
The head of the CIA knows more than the president. President don't know nothing. The head of the CIA, right? That's the database, right? All right. Now, you sitting here and you telling me ISIS, 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 ISIS. And we worried about what happened in France, right?
Not really. Not really.
Not really.
Not
No,
really.
but you get what I'm saying, because we're not, but you know people, oh man, oh, pray for France. Pray for France. Pray for flipping arms. Right? Pray for France. I ain't, listen, I've been to Paris twice. It's a beautiful city, right? But hey man, I got stuff to worry about here. Where Abdullah? You know what Abdullah told me when Abdullah used to be on me. I was up under my man learning for 2 years straight, right? And as soon as I say something out of the way, Dooley bring me right back, put me right back on track. Why you always worry about talking about going over there? Do you know how much culture, how much history, how much everything you got right here? And we worried about that. Listen, the same people that what was it? They bombed some stuff over there. The same people that bombed some stuff over there is shooting our boys over here. Y'all know that we over 1,000 shot by the police this year.
Yes.
We over 1,000 killed by the police. I didn't give a damn what happened in Paris. And I'm not being insensitive. I'm just being honest. Why we worried about what's going on over there? We got all this stuff. We got the same people. ISIS is operating over there the same way they are right here. They call it the U.S. government, just like the States. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And you know, disagree, you're free to do that. You think that there's really some Arabs over there that's that mad and that's raising Cain and raising fuss? Now don't get me wrong, the French did colonize
Haiti.
those parts of Africa, right?
Haiti.
They did colonize them. You know, most of our brothers from West Africa speak French better than they speak some of their own tongues.
That's right.
And that's real right. They speak French better than some of their own tongue. But the problem is this: the French colonized the west coast of Africa. Where ISIS come from? The Middle East, Asia Minor. You put 2 and 2 together. Sound like some shots, didn't it? Put 2 and 2 together. I'm not worried about what happened in France. I ain't being insensitive, I'm being honest. I'm worried about my babies right here. I'm worried about y'all. That's why I'm staying here.
So instead of addressing it, just let it be what it is and stop promoting the ignorance that they're doing by making it a big deal when it's not as big a deal as all the people that we do have dying every month. Don't feed into it and they have nothing to go off of.
It's a big deal in France, right? Y'all, let me ask y'all this. Did y'all hear about the little boy that got shot in Louisiana? The little boy that got killed in the backseat of the car?
Yeah.
No? Just by showing hands, how many people didn't hear about that? Okay. So, little boy's in the backseat of the car, right? His father's in the front seat. So the police, they run the car. Now, in the story, it tells you that the 2 cops that shot and killed this little boy were arrested and charged with 2nd-degree murder and attempted murder. Right? We all think them cops go like.
Oh, man.
They're like us. We all think that little boy.
He was white.
I mean, right there.
Yeah, it was like.
Now, even better, there were 4 cops. There were 4 cops.
Thank you.
I said 4. How many I say got arrested for murder?
2.
Well, what happened to the other 2?
That's what I've been trying to ask.
Informants.
Now I think they need to
Y'all talking about Paps. We got problems right here. Hey, listen.
I think they
Now, people can say, my man Mike Brown, oh, that story was fake. Oh, this story was fake. Oh, that story was fake. But Philadelphia police shoot at least 30 people a year. So never mind that. I'm talking about Philadelphia, right here where we domicile. The Philadelphia police shoot at least 30. Go look it up. One year it was like 60-something people they shot. Right? They ain't talking. Listen, I told y'all before, they pulled up on me, jumped right out with their pistol. I'm sitting in my car. Right? You can say what you want, that this didn't happen, that didn't happen, but we already know without the fact that they're killing our boys. Right? And ain't none of them going down. But them 2 brothers got attempted murder and 2nd-degree murder, shooting that little boy. The other two cats, we don't even know who they are. The brothers' faces, you can go Google them, they're going to come right up. How many of y'all know what that dude that shot my man Ferguson looked like? Nobody. You know his name, if he really even existed. If that's really even his name. Come to the mic, please, because you talk low, man, nobody going to be able to hear you. But yeah, I ain't concerned what happened in Paris. I feel bad, people die. Hey, people dying right here every day over there.
I'm just unfamiliar with the story that you were telling me about. So what was the situation where there were 4 cops, a kid in the backseat, that you said, who were the adults in the car? Like, what was the situation that the cops approached?
His father got pulled over.
Okay.
Right? The little boy was in the back seat. Father was in the front seat. Father got shot as well. He ain't died. Now, for whatever reason they opened fire, I don't know.
Right.
We never will. They opened fire probably because he might have fired. And they might have thought it was a gunshot. So they opened fire. That's the kind of story we get, right? But the whole thing is that it's sad that the baby got shot and the baby died. He was like 6, right? The man got shot. It's sad that he got shot as well. But it's sad that the baby died. But the whole twist of it is the brothers went to jail. The Europeans didn't. They all opened fire. It don't matter whether it's a child in the vehicle or not. You open fire into a vehicle. Listen, there wasn't no exit shots.
Right, with just one man in the car, might it off where you need to open fire.
Because they don't know what else to do. I just seen on the news last night, over in Camden, they now trying to teach the policy enforcers how to deal with situations without pulling their arms.
Yes.
That's like taking a dog and telling him not to bark. They don't know what else to do. Listen, they got a sidearm, right? They got a stick. They got a taser. But first and foremost, they got these. The first thing they do is go run for that sidearm. That's the first thing they do. They got a stick, they got a taser, or the stun gun, and they got a fist. First thing they do is they shoot, and they shoot to kill. Now, I got a homie who was an MP for 10 years. I said, what's protocol for self-defense? How many shots?
Bang, bang, or you shot.
No. But it is 2 shots. But they're not supposed to be up here. You're supposed to wound him.
Yes.
If he keeps coming, wound him again. 1 shot, 2 shots. Who's coming after 2 thigh shots? Right? You're supposed to go to the range. You're supposed to be, if you carrying a sidearm, you're supposed to know how to use it. Right? So you should be able to, at 10 feet, you should be able to hit me in both my legs. You should be able to. If not, you shouldn't be carrying a gun.
Supposed to have an Act 235, but they're doing all that.
See?
Act 235.
See? Now, he said protocol is 2 shots. Boom, boom. Wound him. If he keeps coming, then you gotta, because now he's a threat, because you're gonna try to stop him and he's still coming. Right? Now, if I'm just running up on a cop, is he supposed to open fire on me? I ain't got nothing, just eat. Is he supposed to open fire? No. Y'all gotta go into it. Now see, we live in what's called Pennsylvania. And if you live in what's called New Jersey, or you live in what's called Delaware, go to the statutes, right? Go to the codes and type in Pennsylvania statute, and type in, when you get to the statutes, go to police, not police powers, not police protocol,
Procedure.
not procedure, deadly force. Type in the use of deadly force, right? And then find out what it says. We did a class on this a while back. I think it was called I can't think of the name of it. Facing Reality. We did 2 classes on the police. Facing the Reality. The DVDs could possibly be over there. Go to the statutes, right? And find out what deadly force is. Find out when they're supposed to use deadly force, and find out when they're not. And then you're going to be shocked when you find out that you got the right to use deadly force against them. Right? Now, you correct your status. Right? Correct your status. And then you'll find out when them statutes and codes and ordinances don't apply to you. They apply to corporate citizens. But for those of you who don't know about your status and you're learning, go look up the use of deadly force anyway, and find out. You find out why they do it, because the state gives them the permission to do it. The state gave them permission to kill you. But they also gave you permission to kill them. They also give you permission to kill them, because you got the right to defend yourself. Now, what it says is this. If a cop is unjustly trying to arrest you or apprehend you, you got the right to defend yourself against him just as any other citizen. So when they just running up on you saying, yo, come on man, what you saying, mom? Just walking down the street. And then they want to get aggressive for absolutely no reason, no warrant, no probable cause, no nothing. And then you got the right to defend yourself. The problem is this.
There you go.
The problem is this, and I'm just being realistic with you. The problem is this. It's a whole lot of them. That's right. And all you got to do is say, I'm shot. Yeah. He wanted to go your road. 30 cops will be on him before he get to Albany. Before he gets to Albany, there'll be 30 cops. Listen, there will be Philly police on you. Separate police on you, Temple police on you, University of Penn police on you. You know why? Because of that compact agreement they got. They all got that compact agreement. We all got common interests. We all got common. So they all work together. You know they all go to the same police academy. I don't know if you did know, you know that.
Yeah, same.
They all go to the same police academy. They train together.
They all under the 180 Act.
What's the 180? Come to the mic, please. We put Joe L on the spot. Turn around, please. I mean, if you know what it is, just give us a little bit of it.
Peace. Well, it's just like the Act 235, but the Act 235 is more like for just regular security, you know, homeland security and stuff. And it's still a part of the arms association, but the 180 Act is for them, you know, for the policy enforcers. And it doesn't matter what corporation they under, they still under that same act, so they work together like brothers and sisters. You know, they that's like one big gang.
Now, question, just out of curiosity. Is it act of law?
No.
Nope.
Sound like some theatrics.
Yeah, yep.
Right.
That ain't a law. We ain't doing something. It got, let me ask you this, do it got to knock on your door for you to move? Do y'all got to hear that somebody shot, that police shot down SetenRa Bey? For y'all to get pissed off and start moving? Or y'all got to If y'all was here, how many of y'all was here when we did that class, Facing Reality? It got so heavy in here that I started crying during the lecture, man. That's how damn angry I get. Right? And I can control it because you don't hear about me out here shooting up the place, but that's how angry I get. Because it didn't just start. I started crying talking about Emmett Till, 1955. Y'all think this just started? Y'all think what's been going on been reported in the news over the past 2 years? Y'all think that's something new? You heard what Malcolm said. Malcolm said, listen, he said, forgive them for they know not what they do. He said, they know what they do. They've been doing it for a long time.
Thank you.
Forgive them, they know not what they do. Nah. Ain't no forgiving, ain't no forgetting. And I'm not saying I ain't saying let's do love bullshit. Because we outdone. Now don't get me wrong.
You got more than that.
No, now see, the thing is this. Me and you might think like that. But there's some cowards out here. They look, step on this sneaker, he shoot you in the face. Cop say get on the ground, he like, hey, take my gun. We dealing with cowards out here. We ain't dealing with men, we dealing with boys with guns.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's why we outnumbered. That's why we outnumbered. Yeah, we got more guns than them. We got more people than them. We ain't got more men. We need men.
Right. Thank you.
I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got here, but we did.
From Monsanto
Monsanto about movies.
to police.
Well, hey, listen,
Prison.
wherever the spirit takes us, then everything she goes, that's where we find.
I was about to say, it's all tied in one.
Yeah, how about that?
All ties in.
They're all trying to kill us, right?
Yeah, population, all types of stuff.
What we gonna do?
Right?
Margaret Sanger? I don't want to talk about that over there. I know about her too. Yeah. 323? I hate to, well, Western County.
This person, the sister I invited out from Sourdough, her son had been kidnapped for almost 2 years. And he told his lawyer when he finally got there to sit down that he was going to take care of his own self. And she said he should literally shut down the court. They found him not guilty. So when I heard that story, I was like, I told her to come. I want her son here because he has more steps to do. He has to get his name cleared. I mean, his whole case is just what they do to us. That's on that. Now back to the oil. I got my
Okay.
oil shit.
Okay.
I study root cause therapy, which is called symptometry, under Dr. McElnarty. The root cause of why we are ill. You can give it every name you want to give it. It all has a root cause. And it starts with the food that we're putting in our bodies, the air we breathe, toxins, this impurities, period. When the brother asked about canola, that's the biggest one. Everybody's like, we use canola oil. And the reason why we do the canola oil, he's a chemist. He puts everything under the microscope and brings out the information. We have good and bad oils. And the bad oils are the ones that are thick, that slow our blood down. So the chemists that do the canola oil, they went in, like I said.
Can you just talk into the mic?
Okay, they went in, it's rapeseed oil, and he said, no, rapeseed oil is not good However, the absence of the palladium and the molybdenum and the amount of omega-9 and Greek oils in the canola, after they, he just genetically modified that those two oils, which are the palladium and molybdenum was taken out, which made the canola oil palatable for us, and it's a mild lipid. The other oils give us wild lipids, and that's what slows down our blood. Our blood is to move at the speed of light. But when we constantly, corn oil, even olive oil, and people, cooking olive oil, it gets thick. If you put all these oils in the refrigerator and look at them, you can do your own test. Everybody got onto the coconut oil. Oh, coconut oil is so good, so good. Coconut oil is not good for us. If you put it on your skin, your clothes and your pores up. We're sticking it in our hair. We're losing our hair actually. This doctor's been studying over 20 years now, and he just came to the forefront. He said he was on his deathbed, and the doctors told him they could do nothing for him. And he did all the researching for himself. His name is Dr. Maxwell Zarkin. And you can Google him, you can Google symptometry and find out this. I'm one to say that he saved my life, because when I met him, my kidneys were going down. I mean, you have the urge to use it, and you go there and you like, you had this big urge, and my kidneys were actually shutting down. So I'm blessed to stand here to tell this story. And we were talking earlier about foods that our children eat. I'm seriously, my campaign is to save our future.
What's his name again? What was the doctor's name again?
Dr. Maxwell Nartey, Nartey.
I got a question.
Thank you.
Where's my book?
I don't know.
I ain't gonna do nothing about it. That book is hard to find.
I will do that before I leave.
It's called A History of a Crime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This book was part of the, so for those who came in late, we talked about Monsanto and some things that they got going on. So I mentioned this guy, his name is Dr. Harvey W. White. And he wrote this book, History of a Crime, that talks about food, turn of the century, 1900. So what's going on now with these GMO didn't just start. Thank God that's the way that. You got a comment, bro?
Question.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Question, two questions. We all have these documents here. First question, do these documents, the birth certificate, social order number, do they keep us in slavery, bondage? And second question, can we exist in our ancestors' continent, north, central, and south, without these documents?
Yes. The answer to both questions is yes. That birth certificate, when you got it, made you a ward of the state. Your mother didn't know, you didn't know, grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, nobody knew. It made you a ward of the state. Just to prove to you that you are a ward of the state and that your children are wards of the state, will go to the classroom. So let's just say he's your son, right? I'm his teacher. Hey man, why your eye always swollen? My dad, he be beating me up. Well, why your dad beating on me? I ain't do my homework. What do I do? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what happens is then he shows up. When he shows up, he said, listen, brother, you coming with us because your custodian ain't performing his job right. He can't do his custodial obligation. So we're going to take you and we're going to find some custodian that can do his custodial job the way he's supposed to. And that's that.
Trustee or fiduciary rights.
Absolutely nothing you can do about it. Why? Because you turned over custody. When you got that birth certificate, what you said, you didn't know. But what you said is, I can't take care of my son. I need your help. So you signed him up for the program. Now your son's part of the program and you don't even know. So things like this. If I let you drive my car and you keep hitting potholes, I'm gonna take it. So when you keep on beating on my property. I'm gonna take it. They do keep you in bondage. Right? So what do? That's the age-old question. What do? And you say, can we exist in our ancestors' land doing what?
Without them.
Without them.
Without them.
Yes.
How many people in here already nationalized? How many of y'all use your social security number?
How many people of us here are nationalized?
Oh, pay attention, please.
She asked the question, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. How many people in here nationalized? I need your hand back up, it's important. How many, now look around. How many of y'all still use your social security cards?
Yeah.
You're not nationalized. I said, how many people that are nationalized? And you see how many people raise their hands, right? Right. Then I said, how many of y'all use it? And we all put our hands up. We don't use it. All you got to do is what I said earlier. Do some study. Go read the Social Security Act. Right? Read it thoroughly and understand. When you find out that you don't need to use it, you ain't got to give it to nobody. They say, oh, I need it, or I can't do this. Then you pull out the litigation, you pull out the legislature, you pull out the information, you put that right in front of them. You know why? Because you are not bound by them statutes, codes, and ordinances, but they are because they're U.S. citizens. You ain't. You got once you comprehend that you are a Moorish American national, and that you are not a U.S. citizen, you understand that U.S. citizen protocols and statutes, that stuff don't apply to you. It's just like, I put it to you like this. I'm trying to make it a little simple. If you were a Christian, what they got to do with you not even pork as Muslim? Their things apply to them, and your things apply to you. You're a Moorish American national. What applies to you is that Constitution, that Treaty of Peace and Friendship, the Articles of Confederation. That's what applies to you. The statutes, the codes, the ordinances, but you can't fight against the statutes, codes, and ordinances if you don't understand those previous documents. You got to get into them. You got to get into them. I'm going to say it again. Them DVDs is over there. We did all that. Go get them. Let's sit there and watch it. You're sitting right there. We did all that. Listen, over the course of 3 months last summer, I did the Articles of Confederation, Articles of Association, the land ordinances, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. We did it all. From the beginning to the back. I was going to do the Constitution and the Treaty. Roz and Taj called me and said, no, you got to go all the way back to the beginning, do them documents from this. It took 3 months. 6 or 7 classes we did. All on them documents, teaching you what law actually is. Get in touch with the law, get in touch with me, get it. This way you ain't got to wonder. It's not easy. This way you ain't got to wonder. Because you can sit there and you can watch the DVD and you can get all of it just like that. I ain't pulling no punches, y'all know that. I'm putting it up here. I want you to leave with it. What's the point of me taking something back with me? So then you be calling me all week? No. I'm leaving it here with you. Take it. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us, y'all. We can't think about how we're going to defeat the corporation until we learn Islam. It's love, right? We can't talk about how we're going to defeat the corporation if we don't learn how the corporation works. That's right. Easiest way to beat your enemy is with your own. That's right. Any more comments or questions? I trust that I left y'all with some good information. I trust that I gave y'all something to go home, research, study, and trust that I gave you something to keep with you. So I'm going to close out by doing a Moorish American prayer.
Next class?
Next class?
No.
Next class, December 12th. Next class, December 12th. Huh? Second Saturday. Because of scheduling, we only going to have one class in December. And that's the second Saturday. And if y'all want to write it down or remember the second 2 classes, the classes in January will be the second and third Saturdays. In January, second and third Saturdays. Next class, though, December 12th. Huh? Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to close out with the morning prayer. All those who wish to join, please stand and rise. Face the east. If you don't wish to join, please stay seated and stay quiet. 5 on the left and 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Before we leave, we gotta let y'all know, as always, I love y'all. Peace and love. Stay true.